Patrick Schwarzenegger and Abby Champion have officially tied the knot, turning their long, steady romance into a beautiful lakeside wedding that feels like something out of a Hollywood love story. On September 6, 2025, Patrick, the son of Arnold Schwarzenegger and Maria Shriver, exchanged vows with his longtime partner Abby Champion in a dreamy ceremony by Lake Coeur in northern Idaho. The location was no random choice. It was intimate, luxurious, and picturesque, offering the perfect backdrop for a couple who have always balanced their public lives with quiet, personal love. From the very beginning, this romance has been something fans admired. Patrick and Abby first began dating in 2015, and by 2016, they were publicly seen together, making headlines for their easy chemistry. Over the years, they became a staple of red carpets, fashion campaigns, and Instagram posts that screamed not chaos, but consistency. Unlike so many Hollywood couples that fall into scandal or fade away under the spotlight, Patrick and Abby built their relationship slowly, piece by piece, and this wedding feels like the natural conclusion of a story nearly a decade in the making. The wedding itself was timeless. Abby, just 28, wore a stunning boatneck, sleeveless gown with a flowing skirt and a veil that draped like a cloud of elegance behind her. It wasn't an over-the-top, glitter-drenched gown. It was sophisticated, minimal, and truly let her own grace shine through. Patrick, now 31, stood at the altar in a crisp white tuxedo jacket paired with black slacks, effortlessly blending tradition with a dash of modern charm. Together, the couple looked like they had stepped out of a glossy magazine spread, but there was something real, something unpolished in their smiles and glances that made it feel authentic. The ceremony was attended by those closest to them. Patrick's famous parents, Arnold Schwarzenegger and Maria Shriver, were front and center, beaming with pride as their son took this major life step. His sister Katherine Schwarzenegger Pratt and her husband Chris Pratt also made the trip, adding another layer of star power to the family circle. Patrick's half-brother Joseph Baena was present, too, marking the importance of family unity at this milestone. Abby's parents, Laura and Greg Champion, stood proudly by their daughter, watching her step into her new chapter. And then there were the friends, Hollywood. Names like Jason Isaacs and Rob Lowe, co-stars and longtime supporters, showing up not for publicity but for genuine love and camaraderie. The setting at Gazer Ranch Country Club was pure magic. Guests reportedly arrived by boat, making their way across the glittering surface of the lake to reach the ceremony site. It was a detail that elevated the experience from a wedding to an event that guests will remember forever. The altar itself overlooked the water, with the Idaho sunset painting everything in golden light. Florals were understated, soft whites, creams, and natural greenery that perfectly complemented the rustic luxury of the venue. Bridesmaids wore pale yellow gowns that looked sun-kissed against the outdoor backdrop, while groomsmen kept it classic in black tuxes. It was cohesive, elegant, and deeply personal. What makes this wedding even more special is the story behind it. After Patrick proposed to Abby in December 2023 on a beach surrounded by rose petals and a custom cake, fans assumed the wedding would happen quickly. But life had other plans. Patrick landed a role in HBO's The White Lotus Season 3, a career-defining move that demanded months of overseas filming. The couple had to delay their wedding plans, with Patrick openly admitting in interviews that his schedule pushed the timeline back. Abby, ever supportive, stood by him, reminding everyone why their relationship has worked for so many years. They weren't rushing, they weren't forcing. It was all about waiting for the right moment. And that moment arrived on a September evening in Idaho, proving that patience really does pay off. The emotional core of the ceremony was undeniable. Patrick, who has always worn his heart on his sleeve, was seen tearing up as Abby walked down the aisle. Guests described the moment as serene, almost cinematic, with the soft sound of water lapping at the shore and the hushed quiet of friends and family watching. When the vows were exchanged, it wasn't rehearsed lines or polished delivery. It was raw, heartfelt, and genuine. Those who know Patrick from social media will recall how often he posts tributes to Abby, calling her the love of his life, his best friend, and his anchor. That same affection radiated through every word he spoke during the ceremony. The reception that followed kept the tone intimate. Instead of an oversized celebrity gala, it was laughter, dancing, and heartfelt toasts. Chris Pratt reportedly offered words that blended humor with sincerity, bringing the crowd to both tears and roaring applause. Arnold, the proud father of the groom, was spotted clapping with a smile that carried decades of family pride. Maria Shriver looked equally emotional, watching her son step into the next chapter of his life. Abby's side of the family, more private and less accustomed to flashing cameras, blended seamlessly into the celebration, showing how two families from different worlds can merge with love as the common ground. This wedding wasn't just a union of two people. It was a culmination of nearly 10 years of quiet commitment. It was a moment that reminded fans that Hollywood doesn't always have to mean chaos, scandal, or rushed romances. Patrick and Abby's relationship has been consistent, supportive, and almost refreshingly normal for two people with such public lives. From celebrating birthdays with sweet Instagram posts to supporting each other's careers, they've built a foundation rooted in real partnership. Social media, of course, exploded once the wedding photos began circulating. Fans flooded comments with messages like, "Finally," and "True love still exists." Many longtime followers noted how Abby had become part of the Schwarzenegger family in spirit years ago, making this wedding feel like a long-awaited formality. Others praised the couple for keeping the event family-focused instead of turning it into a Hollywood spectacle. On X, one user wrote, "This is the kind of wedding you dream of. Private, beautiful, and full of love," while another added, "Patrick and Abby are proof that patience and loyalty pay off." The fashion world, naturally, zeroed in on Abby's gown. Magazines praised its simplicity and elegance, calling it one of the most timeless bridal looks of the year. Patrick's tuxedo choice was also widely admired, hailed as sharp and modern without being flashy. Together, the couple's looks were described as classic but contemporary, a blend that mirrors their entire relationship, rooted in tradition, but adapted to modern times. Now that the wedding is done, fans are already speculating about what's next. Will Patrick and Abby start a family soon? Patrick has previously hinted at wanting children, though always emphasizing that it would be on their timeline, not under public pressure. For now, the couple seems focused on enjoying married life, balancing Patrick's acting career and Abby's modeling endeavors. With Patrick's star rising after his role in the White Lotus and Abby continuing to carve her own path in fashion, the two will undoubtedly remain in the public eye, but on their own terms. For those who love a Hollywood fairy tale, this wedding is proof that real love stories can exist behind the flashing lights. Patrick Schwarzenegger and Abby Champion have written theirs with patience, loyalty, and grace. From their early days as a young couple figuring things out in the public eye, to the engagement on a beach, to the Lakeside vows in Idaho, their journey has been steady and sincere. And as they step forward as husband and wife, fans will be watching, not out of morbid curiosity for drama, but out of genuine happiness for a couple that has done it right. Patrick Schwarzenegger and Abby Champion are now officially married. Their Lakeside wedding will go down as one of the most beautiful celebrity unions of the year, not because it was the flashiest, but because it was the most authentic. A reminder that behind the fame, the family names, and the Hollywood spotlight, there can still be love stories told in whispers, laughter, and vows by the water. Make sure to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more celebrity updates just like this.